Hello, my name is Heather Ivany. Welcome to Yoga Netra. The practice that we're going to work with today is playing with the yin and the yang energies within our bodies. We're going to start with the yin, so the practice will be very slow, very methodical, and then about halfway through we'll transfer into the yang energies. It's important to just note, or I feel it's important to note, that sometimes when we work with the yin energies at the beginning of a practice, it can be challenging to then transfer the energy into the yang, so being a little bit more aggressive and firm with the body. So if you're experiencing that, feel free to just back off the poses that we're playing with and just stay within the rhythms that are feeling very honorable to you today. So if you're ready, please make your way into child's pose. For this child's pose, bring the knees together, let them connect. Bring the soles of the feet together, the heels together and the inside edges of the feet together. And then curl the body down and just cocoon the hands beside the feet, palms up. Or if you want, lift up a little bit and just tuck the wrists on the inside of the feet and then come to sit down on the wrists. And just be here, be comfortable with your breath and just relax and soften. And so by taking this cocoon formation with the body, just playing with the different layers of support. So take into the mind's eye the hand of a beloved and imagine it just softly placing on the back of your heart. And then take a deep breath in and just receive that nurturing energy. And as you exhale, soften your heart into the depths of your body. Take another inhale here, and as you exhale, feel how the embrace of the rib cage supports not only the heart, but the entire vulnerability of your organ system. And now take another breath in, and as you breathe out, feel how the rib cage is being cradled by your thighs. Take another inhale here, and as you breathe out, feel how the thighs is being cradled by the wrists, by the calves, and the lower legs. And then take another breath here and feel how the shape of your body is being supported by the earth beneath you. And now with your last 3 breaths here, as you breathe out, entirely relax the musculature, the architecture, and the subtle body within. Remind yourself that moving gradually, moving consciously and mindfully is what will keep you in that feminine tone. Next inhale, slowly lift the sitting bones up, release the hands out, and lengthen them in front of your body. Gently rise up to all fours. And if you have a block or two, just bring that in close to the hands, so on the left side. And now curl the toes, lift the knees up, and come into your first downward dog. Extend through the right leg, lift it up high, and as you breathe out, hug the knee to the chest, place the foot between the hands, and now ground down through your back knee. If you want, keep the blocks stacked one on top of the other or bring the blocks side by side. We're just going to take just a little bit of a pulse leading us into the steadiness of the pose. So anchor the knee right over the ankle, Ground the opposite knee and top of the foot down. And now take an inhale here, swell through the heart. And as you exhale, bend through the elbows, open up the front knee, and just a little dip down. And now breathe in, curl through the spine, lift the head up. And as you exhale, second time through. Take 3 gradual, deeper pulses. And so what I love about a little bit of movement before stillness is just that it leads the body, it gives the mind and the body an opportunity to communicate with each other so that there's a full understanding of where we're going before we drop into the depths of our posture. And then the next time you breathe out, let the forearms replace the hands. So if this feels too low, you're going to stack the blocks one on top of the other. And now from here, gently guide the front knee to fall open a little bit. Draw the tailbone down and gently press the left hip forward. Breathe here. There will be many opportunities for the mind to check out, whether it's through external distractions, internal thoughts. But create the diligence within your body to stay honed into the sensation that you're feeling. Stay present in this sensation. And if you need more support for present moment, then just regulate the breath with the mind. And so the beauty of yin is that it's patient, it's kind, it's tender, so we don't need to come to the full max of our pose. We can slowly take our time. Just a slight added sensation of gently drawing the chin towards the chest, lengthening the musculature along the spine. And now as you breathe in, just gently lengthen the head. And as you exhale, tucking chin in again. Last time here, just gently sweeping through the head. And so you can stay in that gentle Jalandhara mudra. Or you can lengthen the head away and keep some integrity in the back of the neck so it doesn't fatigue. And now if there's an invitation to go a little bit deeper, softly take the blocks out. Bring the forearms onto your mat. See if that fires in just a little too deep, and if so, then bring the block back underneath. You should still be able to breathe smoothly. You should still feel like you're relaxing into the posture. And you should still feel as though there's an invitation for the body to drop. And now final few breaths before coming out of gecko. If you want to, just bring the inside arm, the right hand, to the inner thigh. Create just a little bit of a press away and a gentle twist looking up. And then remind yourself of that conscious diligence to move gradually. Replace the forearms with the hands. Pause here at the top. And then gently lean the hips back. Sweep back into balasana. Feel that release in that gratitude when the legs come back in towards each other, and then tuck right back into that cocoon. Lift the hips, hook the wrists if that feels supportive in your body. Letting the elbows just suspend away from the legs. And then when you're ready, slowly draw the body up. Come back onto all fours. Curl the toes underneath you. Lift and lengthen. A little press back. Play a little bit with the dynamic Shakti or Yin energy by just pedaling the feet. So you're still moving very slowly, almost as though the inhale lifts the heel of one foot up. And as you exhale, the opposite heel draws down. So the full length of your breath is the time it takes to lift and release. And now gravitate the left leg to release up. As you exhale, hug the knee through, place the foot between the hands. Ground down through the back knee. Bring those blocks back underneath for support if you're using them. And now from here, heel toe that front foot out just a little bit. Breathe in, lengthen through the spine, and as you exhale, left knee falls away. Gently bend the elbows and dipping down. Inhale, drawing up. Exhale, softly lowering. So pair the breath with the body. And as though if this was a dance, the breath would take the lead and the body would follow. And then if you're ready, slowly bring the forearms down onto the block. Pause and be still. The practice of Yin asks that we just relax entirely through the musculature of the body. But if you feel that your body needs a little bit of integrity, a little bit of support, draw that in. I just slightly shift the tailbone down. I gently track the front heel to the back knee. And in my body, this creates a little bit more of a release through the hip flexor. Play with it. Play with what you know with Yin. Try another flavor. See what works in your body. And then the calm breath, dipping deep into the navel. Come right into the womb space. And then if you want to add just that gentle traction of the chin coming in towards the chest, lengthening the musculature along the spine. The inhale just ever so slightly reaches forward. And breathing out here again. And then come into the components of Shakti that is static, the Yin qualities. Find her power to be courageous with our vulnerability. Drop into the ability to be compassionate amidst the storm. And this beautiful sense of self within us that just wants to be cradled, wants to be held, doesn't want to be pulled, doesn't want to be worked, just wants to be held. Take the blocks out if there's an invitation to come a little bit deeper. Otherwise, you're just staying and resting with the forearms on the blocks. And then again, picture that nourishing hand on the back of the heart. How can you soften the thoracic spine? How can you relax the relationship center of your body? And then final few moments, take the left hand to the inner thigh if you want to come with me. Gently traction into the thigh and look up and beyond the left shoulder. Drink in the richness of the atmosphere around you. Celebrate the gift of practice. And then slowly take the gaze down, mindfully draw the body up, and then carefully replace the leg. Come right back into that cocoon. Draw the forehead down. Hook the wrists on the inner ankles. And then you can even rock the body a little bit here, side to side. So this gentle impetus just brings us back to the residual memory of our utero phase. Consciously rest the body. And now from here, slowly ease the body up. Bring yourself onto the knees. Okay, take a big breath here. Reach the arms up and overhead. Interlace the fingers, press the palms up. Lift the gaze, stack the head. Inhale. Softly out the mouth. And then gently release the arms down. Come to a seated position. Okay, we're going to stay in the lower center, so working with the hips and the glutes. Block is an option as well. So coming into fire log or double pigeon pose, take the right leg, place it parallel with the top of your mat, and now stack the opposite leg directly over top. So if you have a bit of a gap between the knee and the foot, you can place a block here, a pillow, a blanket, even a sweater. So come into the pose before the pose. Allow the grounding action of the sitting bones to connect you to your roots. Recede the torso away from the front body. Take the mind into the back body. And as the mind comes into the back body, then we move into the parasympathetic system. So a little bit different way to come in. Bring the hands down alongside the body. Take an inhale here, lengthen through the spine, and as you exhale, just shift the body over to one side. And then breathe in, lift and lengthen, and as you exhale, sway the body the opposite way. Really tuning into the lateral edges of your body, giving full merit to the work that they do throughout the day, and oftentimes how our movements are more on the frontal and backward plane and lack a little bit of this awareness into the lateral edges. And so potentially this might help to open up your forward fold, just slowly coming forward, leaning from side to side, until eventually you might find that you can walk the hands over to one knee, a little bit of a twist, inhale as you come through center, and walk the hands over to the opposite knee. And so you're just gently sweeping the body through. Stay with the breath. Let that create a metronome within your body. And then notice where the stillness wants to come in. Does the body want to lay itself over one knee for a moment? Does it want to come directly center? Or perhaps the opposite knee? Now, if the forehead doesn't reach a resting place, then we bring a resting place up. Stack the fists to rest the forehead. Come up onto the elbows, rest the forehead on the thumbs. Or even place your blocks once again underneath the forehead. And now consciously ground down. Weight the frontal brain into that support so that the busyness of the mind starts to relax. If you find that the marinating within the posture is creating a buildup of tension in your body, then honor that. Slowly draw yourself up for a moment or two. Pause. And then see if there is the opportunity to come back in. Gravitate to the most pronounced area of sensation in your body. And when you've marked that with the mind, start to trace the tendrils or the lines that come away from that sensation. Where does it go within your body? Does it flow up? Does it flow down? Become so honed in on that sensation that you can feel the tiniest of the roots going deep within the body. And then now let that go, come right back into your breath. Okay, gently draw your body up. Keep the eyes closed. Stay introverted. Guide your spine to that poised position. And now just seal the experience by pausing here. So we have a pose before a pose, and then we have a reflection at the end. Keep that dharana as you slowly ease the body back. Take the legs just straight out in front, bend the knees. Slightly windshield wiper the knees to one side. Breathe in through center, and then windshield wiper the knees the opposite way. One more time, each direction. So if the transitions that I'm guiding you through don't feel supportive to releasing the side of the body, then feel free to honor that inner intuition within you. Come right back up to a seated position. Okay, gently take the left leg, bring it underneath you, parallel the shin with the front of your mat, and now mirror the shin with the opposite leg. And then I press into my hands and just lift the glutes up so that the flesh can reposition underneath. Draw the toes towards the shins, spread the toes out a little bit if you need just a little bit of muscular energy. If you can totally relax and soften, then play with that. And now from here, close the eyes, bring the fingertips to the outside edges of your body onto the mat. Allow the breath to come in, and as you exhale, lean the body to one side. Guide yourself through center, and as you exhale, opposite side. Inhale and exhale. So you're slowly guiding the body forward. And eventually, as you come forward, taking that into a slight twist, a little bit of a sweeping action. Come over to one knee. Inhale through center. Track to the opposite side. And then gradually come into the still point. Is it center? Is it twisted? Bring the earth up if the forehead doesn't reach the floor. And so the feminine energy calls us into stillness. She seeks the courage from within to drop into our own shadows. And as we move into those shadows, not with the intention of destroying our being, but to instead create the compassion to see where our light can shine. Notice if the elbows can widen just a little bit more. See if there's another depth that we can move into. And so the biggest factor that I find between the yin and the yang is that rather than striving to get somewhere, which can be a little bit more of a masculine energy, it's full permission to allow the experience to unfold, and that can sometimes be a little bit tricky. So if there's no movement, no opportunity to go deeper within the pose, then that is the perfection of the day. With full tenderness and mindfulness, slowly walk the hands up. Bring yourself to a seated height. Close the eyes. Stay in this pose for a moment longer. Just allow the effects to resonate deep within the architecture of this landscape of your body. And commit to being just as present in transition as you were in the depth of your pose. Gently guide the hands back, unfold the legs, keep the knees bent, feet flat. Gently sweep the knees over to one side, and then come through center and sweep the knees to the opposite side. One more time, each direction, breathing in, releasing out. And now from here, come center, come right onto all fours. Come back into that cocoon shape. Hook the wrist crease if you want. Cradle the body into the earth. And now, with gratitude and deep, deep reverence, release the feminine. Start to transition into the masculine. And so we don't plummet the body in, we still move with integrity. We take that softness or that controlled movement into the masculine side. So slowly rise up onto all fours. Okay, root down through the knees, anchor through the hands. And now from here, curl the toes. And before you lift the knees, imagine this is the first time ever you've come into down dog. Clear the mind, let it be a blank slate. And now just hover the knees about an inch off the floor. Feel how this plugs right into your core. Fire up a little bit here, not aggressively, but just creating some muscular contraction. And now take the sitting bones and send them high. And as you exhale, lay the heels towards the earth. Look towards the legs. Be very still and scan the body, so it's going to feel as though we just want to drop into our habits and our tendencies of where the mind goes in this pose. Come into a very obscure place, a part within the body that you don't normally tune into when you come into this posture. And now just feel the steadiness through the arms. Feel the strength through the legs. But there's this overwhelming sense of calm as you hold, as you study. And if you're new to the practice of yoga, then this is going to be much more of an effort that will slowly come into more of a relaxational sensation the longer we play. Take the feet, walk them up towards the hands, come into Uttanasana, standing forward fold. Play with the passive experience of this posture, so almost like a rag doll, let the head hang, let the joints be loose, let the body relax. And now firm down through the feet, so plug in to the base knuckle of the big toe, the base knuckle of the baby toe, and then your inner and outer edges of your heels. From here, deepen the bend in the knees, get the femurs into their sockets, and now take the inner thighs towards each other, take them back, and open them up. Take an inhale, lift up just a little bit, take the rib cage towards the back, and then start to plug the torso down, in towards the body. Crown of the head is reaching. So feel how it's the exact same posture, but two very different intentions. One is feminine, the other is masculine. Root down through the back body to lengthen your spine up. Come to your full standing height. Take the arms up and overhead and just pause here. Stand tall, breathe deep. Take the hands right into the heart. Now, because you've opened up the body so much, your balance might feel a little bit off. Vrikshasana, come into your tree pose. So root down to the left leg. Take the right foot sole to the inner thigh. Press foot into thigh and thigh into foot. Gravitate the hands towards the heart and actively press the hands in towards each other. That's it. And now from here, breathe in, blend the body up. Feel free to stay here, or if you choose, go Mukhasana arms. So you're going to take the right arm down, bend the left elbow, unite the fingertips. And now from here, plug the low rib cage in, draw the upper arm back, lift the head, and breathe. Gradually release. Send the arms out, broaden them wide. And slowly come out of your posture. Close the eyes, stand tall. Gently shift to the right side, root down to the right foot, bend on the left knee. Draw that foot sole to the inner thigh to the foot. So if this is too high, then just stack left foot on top of right. Or even draw foot to calf muscle. And now bring the hands to the heart. Press the palms together. Feel how that ignites just a little bit through the solar plexus. And then keeping that integrity, rise up. Lengthen the arms overhead. Breathe. Stay here or play with a little shoulder opener. Left hand comes down, bend the elbow so the back of the hand is on the back. And then the right elbow bends, fingertips unite. As they unite, draw and track the shoulder back. If they don't touch, that's fine. Just come to what is comfortable without compromising the joint of the shoulder. Very gently release the fingertips, open the arms up, and breathe. From here, take the time, slowly excursion out of that intrepid exploration, and then bring the hands to the heart. Close the eyes. Come to the top of your mat. Take a vinyasa from here, but move with intention, move with integrity. Inhale, rise up. As you exhale, contain as you move forward, so equal amount of energy going out and coming in. Root down and lengthen. Step the feet back. Come into your plank. From plank, you can take the knees down. You can take the chest down, take the chin down, come to three-point prayer. Gently sweep and draw the body through Baby Bhujangasana. And now roll over all fours and come back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. From an in-breath, take your right leg, lift it up. Now keep the hips parallel. So the tendency is going to want to stack the hips and open them up. We're going to keep the hips parallel. Track the inner thigh midline. Leg doesn't have to come very high. I'm more concerned with keeping the hips square. Breathe here. And now look between the hands, step this foot between, and come right into standing splits. Take the back leg, lifting up. Option is to stay here, or if you choose, draw onto the ankle. Come into the steadiness of the masculine. Come into the concentration, the focus. Keep this leg lifted. Then slowly return down. Come right back to where you started, lifting that leg up, aligned with the hips, stacked over the mat, and breathe. Exhale, release this leg down. Breathe in, left leg reaches up. So feel the inner thighs tracking towards each other. The masculine energy hugged into the core. If we want to experience spirit, we have to move into our core. And it is not with the intention of aggression, more with the integrity of commitment. From here, step the left leg through between the hands. Come all the way forward, lift the back leg up. Inner thigh hugs in. Keep the legs tracking towards each other. Keep rooting down through the base knuckle of the big toe and the pinky. So if you can see your own foot and you're white knuckling through the toes, relax the toes and root down in the base of the toes. Exhale, release, match your feet towards each other. Widen the feet just a little bit. Bend your knees, sweep your arms, Utkatasana. Ground down from the kidneys, draw the tailbone down, plug the side rib cage back. Okay, take the arms up and overhead. Breathe here. And now inhale, rise up, interlace the hands back behind you, lift and lengthen through the heart, and as you exhale, pour the body forward. Set the femurs back, take the arms overhead. Express the collarbones to broaden. And now weight into the right foot, micro bend the knee, step the left foot back behind you. Position of Veer 1, 45 degrees with the back foot. Come into your humble warrior, lay to the inside edge of this leg. Track the front knee in and breathe. Gradually release the hands to the inside of the front foot, pivot onto the ball of the back foot. And now take the inner arm, draw it up towards the sky. Let the whole body twist. Keep the back leg lifted, keep the front foot rooted. Feel that long line of energy from fingertip to fingertip. From tip of the toes to tip of the toes. Reach that back heel long and then plug the femur in. Gradually release this hand down. Come back into down dog. If you choose to have a vinyasa here, feel free. Mini vinyasa, just inhale plank, chaturanga, upward dog, and then join us in down dog. Take the gaze between the hands, soften the knees, hop or step your feet up. Breathe in, lift and lengthen. Exhale and fold. Bend the knees, sweep the arms, come right back into Utkatasana. Take the body, stand tall. Bring the hands back behind you, interlace the fingers. Lift and lengthen through the spine. Exhale, pour the body down. Now take the side rib cage back. Work on anchoring the crown of the head down, but broadening the collarbones open. So there is containment and there is space. So even when we're playing with one particular side, you'll always feel that dot within the yin and the yang still coming through. So if we play with the masculine, there's still going to be that little flavor of the feminine. When you play with the feminine, there's still that tiny little flavor of the masculine. Start to take the right leg, lifting up, stepping back, behind you. Turn that foot on a 45, drop into the depths of the forward fold, humble warrior, stay open through the chest, anchor down through crown. Breathe. And now release the hands to the inner edges of the foot. Pivot to the ball of the back foot, and now take that inner arm and reach it up. Radiate up towards the sky. See if you can feel that impetus, that flow within the body, even though you're still, even though you're static. So just as the feminine can be static and dynamic, so can the masculine. Root the heel, plug the femur, put some integrity into this landscape. And now top hand comes down, it frames the foot. Step into down dog and breathe. Again, option for mini vinyasa. If you desire to take yourself through, feel free. I'll be patient, I'll wait. And now final element here, walk the feet in towards the hands. Coming into Bakasana. So starting, if this is a new pose for you, spread the fingers out. Bring the elbows to the inside edges of your knees. Slightly turn the palms just ever so slightly in. And then take the pelvis and lift it up. So just like you're doming through the spine and you're getting some height. And then I'll just turn so you can get a bit of a visual here. You just slightly shift the weight forward. And then you take the weight back. And this just builds a nice amount of strength through the wrists. Okay, if you're ready to come up, you lean forward. Curl the toes. You can take one foot at a time or both feet. Tuck the toes in towards the glutes. And now come down. Take a little break and malasana, roll the wrist crease out. I sometimes like to just sort of walk the pits of the arms over the knees and then track the body back a bit. And then your friends can wonder how you get armpit stains on your knees. It's kind of a neat trick. All right, deeper still if you're coming with me. Shift forward, turn your palms in. Spiral the elbows in now and come up onto the tippy toes. Hug and dome. Now notice how I have to stack my wrists underneath my elbows. So I walk a little bit more forward, stretch the eyes forward. Lift up through the carriage of the torso. Draw that up. Take one foot, hug in towards the body. Other foot hugs in. Breathe here. So then we start to understand how each pose has this effortless effort. When we precariously stack the bones upon themselves, even the postures that seem to create huge amounts of energy and effort, they can be sustained if we come into it with a steady mind, a calm spirit, and then a stacked frame. Slowly bring the feet down. Come back into malasana. So roll the wrist crease out for a moment. And then again, hitch the pits of the arms over the knees and then just take a little lean back. Swivel the hips. Okay, gently draw the body forward. Come back down onto the knees. Come into that cocoon. Hook the wrist crease on the ankles. The arms are going to love this after those arm balances. Dangle the elbows from the legs. And now as you come back into a resting position, take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, just blessing and thanking the masculine energy within your body. And then just blessing and thanking the masculine energy that exists all around. How does it show up in our lives? How do we see that energy? Is it overbearing? Is it supportive? Is it empowering? Is it definitive? And now slowly release the hands, gradually come up. Again, interlace the fingers right up and overhead. Press the palms away, lift the gaze, draw the arms back. Lift and root. Gradually release. We began with the feminine, we'll finish with the feminine, so shift the legs over to one side. Come all the way down onto your back. Encourage the spine, the neck, and the head to form one nice long line. And now take the knees and gather them in towards the chest. Circulate the knees here, so place the hands on top of the knees and just draw little circles. And now gently circulate the opposite way. Okay, taking a very passive twist to finish. Let the feet come down onto the mat. Keep the knees together. Keep the spine, the neck, and the head in a loving length of action. Drop the knees over to the right side. And then lift up the chest and just gently walk the right shoulder blade out. Now take the arms to a cactus position, back of the hands onto the mat. Close the eyes here. Take your awareness into the rib cage. So this is oftentimes an area that likes to hold. See if with each exhale you can consciously relax the rib cage. And so if the feminine attributes of the body are challenging to recruit within your daily life, start to examine the patterning that you have around that. So what is the mind's conception of rest? Do we view rest as being lazy, as an inability to get things done? Or can we view rest as the fuel that we need to charge into our actions? Recruit the navel to the spine, slowly draw the knees up through center. Gently drop the knees to the opposite side. And if you can, lift the chest up, just slightly walk the left shoulder blade out from underneath. Feel the space between the ears on the back of the head, how that's in contact with the mat. Consciously ground down through there and feel how that helps to unhinge the tension in the jaw. And then review the masculine energy in your life. Is the ability to be in the masculine entity a challenge? What is the thought patterning relationship with our masculine energy? Do we view it as aggressive, as rude? Do we not feel worthy to put ourselves forward? And then gently draw the legs back up to center. Okay, so press down through the feet and lift the hips up, and then surrender the hips and the glutes right underneath you. So you're coming back into that long line of energy. Casually and gently release the legs out. Bring the arms alongside the body. And now from here, just gently press down through the legs, lift the hips up just a little bit, shimmy the glutes and release back down. Press down through the arms and the back of the head, lift the chest up just a little bit, draw the shoulder blades towards each other ever so slightly, and release down. And now as you're lying here on your back, take a few just clearing breaths from the tips of the toes to the crown of the head, and then exhale from the crown of the head to the tips of the toes. And now just finishing here through the interplay of the masculine and the feminine. So just knitting them together a little bit more as we lie here in Shavasana. Come into the base of the pelvis, right into your pelvic floor. Come into the region of the perineum. Visualize the Ada and Pingala energies here. And as you breathe in, let them scoop out to the sides, separating from each other. And then as you come in to the base of the navel, let them connect and cross. And then as you breathe in, they separate again, so they're forming these figure eights up your body. And as you come into the base of the solar plexus, the xiphoid, they cross again as you breathe out. And now inhale from the base of the xiphoid, draw those energies out to the lateral extensions of your rib cage. And as you exhale, let them cross at the heart. And then breathe from the heart, extend those energies, let them separate out to the sides of the shoulders. And as you exhale, let them come and cross right in the center of the throat. And then breathe in and radiate those energies out to the sides of the periphery of your face. And as you exhale, just like a bindu point, come right into third eye. Let them unite. Take that awareness and drop it right into your midbrain. Come into pineal. And just resting here in the internal embrace. Gradually lengthening your spine, lengthening your breath. Very tenderly reaching through the toes, fingertips, as though you're just a newborn experiencing the world. Take your time. Roll on to one side when you're ready. And then from here, soften the top hand, press it into the earth. Use that to lever the body up. Gently come to a seated position. Close the eyes once again and just pause here. Understand that there is a limiting belief that tells us that the practice ends here and we cannot carry this experience into our daily living. So suspend the disbelief, consciously allow yourself permission to be open, to be vulnerable, to have conviction and compassion wherever your next destination leads you. Gently guide the palms together, rest on the third eye. Ground third eye to thumbs and thumbs to third eye. Use this to help stack the spine into a greater alignment. And now breathe. Finishing here with an internal Om. Collectively breathe in, and now Om with no sound. Such lovely people. Namaste.